He's also a member of the Latke Institute, which studies the growth of oil-induced pimples. All of his publications focus on nightshades, and particularly the potato. Transformation of different potato cell types, leads to distinct tuber phenotypes. Systemic endocrine instigation of indolent tuber growth requires starch. Growth inhibitory and tuber suppressive functions of P53 depend on its repression of Hamentashen expression. It was a blight on his esteemed career that Professor Weinberg's greatest achievement was the isolation of the first known tuber suppressor gene. This tuber inhibitor caused much joy in the Hamentashen camp. Tonight he returns to make good and laud the old-fashioned potato and its derivative, especially the latke.
It's time we got serious here. This debate is taking place. I took part in this debate 20 years ago. And I took part 6 years ago again. And each time the issue was totally, absolutely, 100% resolved. I'm dumbfounded that again, we're debating the issue. How could anyone have the temerity, the chutzpah, the unmitigated gall to contest this issue? Indeed, to contest it with the gentlemen, and they are gentlemen, on my side. Did my side not settle the issue already 20 years ago and 6 years ago? There is, however, only one detail that troubles me, and it is surely nothing more than a minor one. Which side was I on? People will go to the lengths of the earth, to the ends of the earth, to stir up controversy, and you've heard the claims of the Hamentashen, pro-Hamentashen lobby. You may have heard claims of the nutritional benefits of Latke Hamentashen. As a biologist, indeed as a biochemist, I can weigh in readily on this issue. Trust me, I am an expert. The only, and here I take exception with some on the other side, the only true Hamentashen are filled with poppy seeds, the product of the opium poppy. Old Jewish women used to get glaucoma for eating too much poppy seed. We know full well where the opium poppy is grown, and we know full well the horrors of drug addiction. I say more. Folks, some of you may view this as guilt by association, but I am sure you can see right through that argument. It is so transparent. As a biochemist, I can testify latkes are low in carbohydrates, low in fats, a truly natural food, unlike the competitions, the highly processed, non-organic, artificial confection called the Hamentashen. For the calorie conscious among you, there is no substitute for latkes. Do not be swayed by their claims. Remember, they will go to any lengths to tout their product, but folks, you and I, we know better. Actually, in a situation like this, the primary question is not the relative merits of latkes versus Hamentashen. Instead, the primary question is, what would motivate anyone to stand up and tout Hamentashen? Remember, in debates like this, your opponent's motives are ultimately vastly more important than the arguments. What are their real motives? Are there conflicting interests that they're not telling us about? Have they too been bought off by the Hamentashen lobby? Paid off once again by the international Hamentashen conspiracy. These people, they know no limits. Ask them for full disclosure, and I assure you folks, the picture will not be a pretty one. Remember folks, in a debate like this, if you can't win on the issues of substance, attack the opponent's motives. here I must take mild exception to the discussion of our respected Rabbi Fisher. Hamentashen are a relatively recent vintage, a brief relic of our sojourn, the sojourn of our ancestors in Persia in the 4th century BC. Remember the heroes of their story. Mordecai, named after Marduk, the Babylonian god of war and domination. And Esther, named after Ishtar, the Babylonian god of love, sexuality, and promiscuity. Babylonian. A cruel goddess who destroys her many lovers. What more need be said? Hamentashen are inextricably intertwined with Babylonian idolatry and polytheism. Once again, folks, I ask, is this guilt by association? Folks, you be the judge. Latkes are much earlier vintage than the 6th century BC Hamentashen. We know this, folks, trust me, that our ancestors consumed latkes shortly after their 40 years of wandering in the desert. Again, slightly differing history. Moses did not, remember, he could not go into the promised land, but Aaron surely did. The facts are clear. The commonly held myth is that potatoes and tomatoes were discovered in South America shortly after Columbus and introduced into Europe in the second half of the 16th century. This is manifestly impossible if our ancestors were eating latkes shortly after the Exodus. Excuse me, but we need to get our history straight. Do not be swayed by the opposition. Do not be swayed by their slavish devotion to minute details of fact. By their obsessive pursuit of historical accuracy, seeking to distract from the main themes by confounding them with the truly minor, inconsequential facts. We need to be loyal and patriotic and rally around the one food that has sustained our people for more than 3,000 years, maybe even more. I, too, rest my case.